A very good morning to one and all. Today we are going to deal with a new topic. The name is discounting of bills or bill discounting. Let us go for the introduction of what you mean by bill discounting. This is the English definition, but we will try to break in between so that we can get a better clarity of it. So from this definition we have to learn who all are the players when you say a bill discounting process is there. The answer is there are two players. Who are they? They are, one is a buyer, another one is a seller. Okay, great. Now what do they do? In bill discounting, the seller will draw a bill, which means raise a bill. On whom? On the buyer. For what? For exchange of goods and services. I am repeating the process. There are two parties. The one is called the seller who sells. The another one is called the person who buys, that is a buyer. Second important information. What will happen in bill discounting process? The seller will raise an invoice or raise a bill or draws a bill. All items are the same. So, a seller will draw or raise or initiates an invoice on whom? On the buyer. For what? For exchange of goods and services. This is the first cut. Now that is actually the word bill. Now what is the discounting? The second phrase. It means the so-called seller who has raised the bill on the buyer for exchange of goods and services will discount. With whom? Will discount the bill of exchange with a bank or a financial company. As simple as that. I mean, this is the beauty of English. We just break into three parts. It is very, very simple. So I am repeating those three parts. Point number one, there are two parties. One is a buyer and a seller. Point number two, the buyer or the seller raises an invoice on the buyer for exchange of goods. This exact process is called bill. The second word is discounting. What do they do? The seller gives the bill or discounts the bill with the bank or the financial exchange. For what? For quick money. Let us see that for what in the later version. But right now please understand, bill discounting means discounting of bills. In other words, discounting of bills with the bank or a financial exchange. Now what do you mean by a bill? Bill is a invoice drawn on the buyer for exchange of goods. That's it. Now let us see for what? When the bank or when the seller discounts the bill, what the seller is getting. This is the next information. That is, the seller will get funds. What do you mean by that? In the invoice or in the bill, money is written or the value is mentioned, but it is not actual money. It is future money. I am sure in your financial management classes or common man's life, you might have heard about a concept called future value of money. If not, don't worry, this is not big jargon. I will tell you in one line. It is as simple as that. You take one lottery ticket today. For example, the ticket first price is 5 crore rupees. Tonight, if you are dreaming other than anything else, the first information which you would be capturing is, if I get 5 crores, what will I do? That 5 crores is future value. You have not got it. You are expecting to get. Now I am making a very blanket statement that you are going to be the winner. So there is no probability condition here in this example. So if you are going to receive the money, what are you going to do? So what are you looking at? The future value application is what is your dream today. Now let us go to our area where the seller has raised a bill, which means the seller is expecting that money in the future, or the whatever amount written in the bill is the future value that the seller is expecting. Now, what is the seller doing? Seller wants the money right now. What is that seller doing? Seller is expected to receive the money after 20 days. Today he wants the money. So what he should do? He should discount it. Where he should discount? He should approach a bank or a financial institution who will discount it. Now what will the seller get if he discounts? The 20 days money which is going to receive after 20 days, he will receive it today. For what the bank is doing, the bank is charging a commission or a fee. So in a nutshell, by bill discounting process, the seller is getting the money today. Or in another words, the future value of money is converted into the present value. That is a jargonized version. It's not the common man's version. So, future value is the amount you receive in future. Present value is the amount you receive today. So, in bill discounting, you are converting the future value into present value. Very good. So, now you got one information. Who is doing that? The bank is doing that discounting. What is the bank benefiting out of it? The bank is charging a commission or a fee. So, bank also gets money. That is in terms of fees or commission. Seller also gets money. That is a reduced value, not the bill value, but a reduced value. So both the seller and the bank is happy or are happy. Now, this is the exact information which is mentioned in the second line. Why this process is done? I have already told you the difference between present value and future value. I am again going back to one more information on your financial management. There is a clause. The clause or the fundamental aspect is, please take decisions based on present value, not on future value. Why? If you have not studied finance, don't worry, still you have an answer. The answer is, future is uncertain. So don't think that after 20 years I will become a millionaire, then after becoming a millionaire I will buy a helicopter. Impossible. Because next 20 minutes whether we are going to be here or not, we do not know. So always take decisions on the current or the present, not on the future. But you should plan for the future. Now with this information, don't say, okay, you have already said it, don't expect anything in future, so I am happy-go-lucky, I am not doing any job, I am enjoying sitting watching TV. That is not what is mentioned. We have to take decisions based on future, forecasting the future requirements. We have to take decisions based on present, forecasting the future. So, future is very important, but decisions has to be today. Another example. Right now these are all very common examples. What is a common example is, for example, there is a small kid who is in LKG. I am sure you got my next line. What the parents are thinking, whether this kid is going to be a doctor, for that should I ask her to go for MBBS or not? Kid is 4 years. The parents are thinking for 20 years. So 4 years the decision has to be taken by the kid at the age of 4. Let she go to the kindergarten, let she enjoy the present. But that doesn't mean that she should be left out completely. Once she is almost reaching 7th, 8th or 9th or the so-called +1, +2 areas, she should be given focus, she should be given direction. Plus the most important thing, you as a parent should be able to identify whether she is going to be good in her profession, that is the doctor. If she hates talking to people, if she is not having patience, then she cannot treat any patient. So patience is important for a doctor. Similarly, different traits are there. So what I am trying to say is, bill discounting is good, provided the seller is able to get a good value. If the future value is not so attractive, then there is no point in going for all these issues. The bill invoice is, say for example, 20,000 rupees and your commission itself comes to say 800 or 900 rupees. Rather than discounting the bill, go and talk to the buyer, give him a discount or give him a future discount. then get the money quickly. Don't wait for the bill to get realized. So techniques are important, taking into consideration the requirements. The theory remains the present. So by bill discounting, the seller is able to generate incremental cash flow. I am sure you might have heard about the word called marginal. Marginal means the increment or the benefit received by adding one more unit. That is called marginal benefit or marginal revenue. Here what are we trying to understand is, for example, the seller is getting a cash flow of 10,000 rupees. If he discounts his bill, his cash flow will increase by 15,000 rupees. So that 15,000 rupees is the increment. 10,000 already he is getting from someone. So is that incremental benefit greater than incremental cost? If your answer is yes, then this is a good option. If no, then you have to wait. Then you have to think what alternative is there. So I am repeating one more aspect of bill discounting. Those are three aspects. First one, the seller draws the bill on the goods sold or goods exchanged to the buyer and gives it to the bank. This is the first aspect. Second important aspect, why the seller is going and giving it to the bank? For getting it discounted so that the seller will get funds. Vis-a-vis, the bank will also get a commission. Third important aspect, by getting this, what is the benefit? The seller is able to improve his cash flow than keeping the bill in the original level. So these are the three important information of bill discounting process. Now, what the bank has to look at, you always said about the seller, that is good, that is beneficial and all. Now bank is going to take the risk of it because bank is going to give the cash upfront. Before doing that, the bank has to consider number of factors. Those are, point number one, what is the probability of default? That is exactly what is mentioned, risk of non-payment. Non-payment means default. Probability of default is another word used in common nature, or risk of non-payment is a general word. Both are same. Associated with the bill. So if the bill amount is so and so, what percentage that the bill will be realized on time? If it is 80%, then it is good. If it is only 20%, then the complete risk is handled by the banker. So before discounting, the banker will look at the credentials or the probability of default. Second important information, time to maturity. That is called TM, time to maturity. What do you mean by that? For example, the bill date is on, what is this month? Say let us take it as May. If the bill date is on June, I am approximating dates. Currently this is 1st of May. So the bill will realize on 1st of June. So what is the maturity period? 30 days. I am the seller, you are the buyer. And the amount of the bill is say 1 lakh rupees. Which means I have sold goods worth of 1 lakh and you are yet to pay. So I am raising a bill on your name that you are yet to pay. And the due date is June 1st. I am the seller, I need some cash on an urgent basis. I approached one banker nearby, he said he is having that facility. I had the invoice with me, I actually raised the invoice and I approached the banker. He says out of 1 lakh, after reviewing he has assessed certain criteria and he said 85,000 rupees will be paid upfront to me. I am very happy honestly because this bill is only showing 1 lakh rupees, it is not giving me 1 lakh. When I will get the 1 lakh, I will get only on June 1st. But today I am approaching the banker, within 3 days the banker is telling I will give you 85,000 rupees. This is the meaning, present value is always greater than, or the benefits of present value is always greater than future value.